One evening as the sun went down and our cooking coals were glowing, down the path came a party hiking, and they said, folks, we're all going. We're yearning for a portal far away in a tavern full of shouting. So join us, friends, and let's descend deep into Under Mountain, deep into Under Mountain. There run dungeons hot and cold, where the monsters surge and pushes, and the youngest runes are old, where the mimics all lie waiting, and the goblin werebats roost, all the wisps and wasps and the mezzo-lost, the hidden pit where we'll all plummet deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, all our blades will sing like choirs, as our arrows strike like drum beats, and our green flame pops and pyres. Our barbarian will stomp a brood as the rogues dance shadow play. Oh, we're sworn to go at a great tempo. We'll chant our spells as we now delve deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, you'll always find new gear, and your old mundane accoutrement can be handed down, don't fear. The magic items you'll attune and the artifacts you'll find. There's armor with gems and weird potions and a propeller hat that lets you ascend deep into Under Mountain. Deep into Under Mountain, the mad wizard stood gates so folks can open portals. He left clues to activate. He has a thing for puzzles and he likes to throw his voice. We're going to delve to where he dwells, to the lowest tower, to seek his power deep into Under Mountain. I'll see you there, the lowest lair, deep into Under Mountain.
Power line to convey a certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us all downtown. Lines of connection, communication, not the borders of boundaries that slice and dice a nation. Divided by the chalk lines of disreputable history, past failures are laid out as we shrug with absent mystery. Those bodies left behind us while we amble on ahead, fearful of the wrong things from newspapers unread. Before I tell you what to do or you try to tell me, let's all see what's been done and where we could have been. By knowing what's before us, the path might clear ahead and focus on new obstacles uncharted by the dead. Power line from a gurgling turbine, a telephone line from a quiet room, a metro line from across the city. Maybe we'll all raise our glasses soon. They say across the fence line the grass is always verdurous, but we're not corralling cattle, fearing rain, foul murders. When we look out past dividers, we're unsurprised to see more folks erected erecting fences, becoming detainees. Before I worry about you or you worry about me, let's all dwell on ourselves, we're the private enemy. Becoming who we're meant to, virtuous and creative, we won't dread the different, the strange or unrelated. A power line to convey certain brilliance, a telephone line to carry a voice, a metro line to bring us home, to bring us home.
The summer is past, but your days keep growing longer. There's no wind in your sails, but the storm's blowing stronger. Walking hard, standing tall, keeping your head up through it all. Fighting fires, spinning plates. Goodness, how did it get so late? Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and dream. Lay your head down and just let your mind flow downstream. Sprawl out in a moonbeam. Lay your head down and dream. Joe Hills is filmed before a live streaming audience.
That's us! Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording as I always do in Nashville, Tennessee, and tonight, y'all are my live streaming audience. I want to first off start off the stream with a bit of, I was gonna say, what's the word? I was gonna say gratuity. That's like what you tip somebody. I was like hung up on gratuity. I read a thing about tipping today, and it got me. Okay, wow, we're starting strong. I originally tried to time it so the bar would end on this render right when the stream started, but opening OBS and Discord also slowed it down a little bit. So, gratitude. I wanted to roll in with a strong sense of gratitude and specifically thank Technologic. I spent about 4 hours today in the library because I needed to get out of my apartment to focus on editing. This next video is coming along really well. I am super hype about it. But anyway, I got this great message from my sister Quinn saying that Technologic had agreed to, or had offered to and paid for, Quinn to completely remaster, or, well, technically, apparently the project files were lost for Binge Watch Rap. Quinn is going to completely redo the song, re-record the whole song, to not have the dead name or old pronouns in there. And that was something that I had personally wanted to be able to pay Quinn to do for a long time, but, like, I have not been in a place to be able to do it. This TCG thing is, like, really throwing everything off for me. And I really appreciate so much how much the fans, how much y'all are, like, going out and buying these cards and having... I cannot wait to go have fun playing cards with you. But, like, just because of the nature of how that money takes time to get paid out and things like that, my whole financial situation is a wreck. But anyway, so it was kind of bumming me out a little bit that I couldn't afford to pay Quinn to redo the song, and so I want to thank Technologic for stepping up and covering that cost entirely today. That like Quinn sent me this message while I was at the library editing, like super excited. This was deeply appreciated by both of us. So yeah, thank you very much, Technologic. Meanwhile, while we were talking, it looks like our video got done rendering. Let's go ahead and see how this ReplayMod file came out. Now, the thing is, this was a 4K render, so it's not going to look as good on stream as it will in the video. The next video is going to be a 4K video because there's a lot of ReplayMod stuff in there, and it's easy to do the ReplayMod stuff at 4K. It's a little bit slower, but it looks great. Okay, so there's a little bit of flicker in there. Those mountains didn't load properly. Dang it. I don't know what it is. There's some sort of weird glitch with those mountains in the distance. That's like just from where the camera is here, we're having this weird rendering issue. And I've seen this sometimes like along chunk boundaries and stuff. And, oh, we got a nice little message here from Technologic in the Discord who says, just paying it forward, very happy to support the arts. I get a ton of enjoyment from the two of you, and I'm fortunate to be in a position to be able to do so currently. Well, it is deeply appreciated and well-timed. This was a fantastic time to get some support like that for both of us. We're both so excited and so appreciative. Evening, Sammy. Evening, Polaris, Nez, 46 Bonnie, Nico and Indy, Jennifer, Pelkey, Gritmonger, Miss Gold Fox, Darwy, Grayski, Golden Tetrapod, Tosslin, Aaron Ferreira, that one guy, Sapphire Smith, and Scoon in the YouTube, as well as Salem. I think I said Salem. Maybe not. Howdy, Salem. Okay, so we've got to figure out... So whatever this graphics glitch is, there's some sort of graphics glitch where those chunks there are technically loaded in the background, but they're not like... They're like glitching out somehow. So one option we have is we can pull the render distance down some, which I don't like doing, but like we're in kind of a hurry. If we pull it down to 22... No, because I can still see... Okay, wait, no, 22, the pig is barely in there. That's ahead of the mountains. So that means, let's turn it up to 24. And that'll fix the mountain problem, I think. What did I just had it set much higher than 24. So let's see if 32 fixes the mountain problem, where we still have Ren, but we have the pig. Okay. From here... That's going to look a lot better. Okay, great. So we're going to rerun this render. ReplayMod can be a little bit time-consuming sometimes, but you know what? It looks great at the end, so we're going to set that up, and we're going to get that running in the background. Polaris Northstar says, when Scar does server maps, he always has trouble in the spot with False's base. Yeah, that's the same area. Cooperative writes, hey, Joe, can't believe you responded to my comment today on the video from 11 years ago. Well, I mean, I'm responding to your comment now, and it's the same day. But yeah, I get alerts whenever people post comments on my videos, so that way I can remove spam. It's not good to not look at your videos, I'll tell you that. Okay, so let's see, we got some other stuff in Discord here. Delete the file in the Bobby folder and then reload it. I don't have time to do that. Player location could be loading or unloading those edges. No, I had it way higher before. I've been turning it down. This is my 4th attempt at this. And that's a little frustrating, but we're going to get it right. So, in the meantime, we also have some voiceover that we need to record for this episode. There's going to be a bunch of... This is a TCG-focused episode. There's going to be a bunch of TCG games that are compressed at the beginning of the episode, and then there's going to be a full-length showdown with Cub at the end. Some of you also saw that showdown on stream. It was a really good game, and we had Ren, Grian, and Doc there as well. So that was too good to not include. I'm not going to say at full length, because there's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, wait, let me do my Ren Dog voice. Oh, hey, guys. My chat says we should have subtracted 30 there instead of 20. And then Cub's like, wait, I don't know if that's right. Maybe it should be 40. And then Doc is just like, I don't know why my chicken isn't here yet. And so I'm going to be cutting out, like, the parts that are... There are some parts that are not the game that are very funny. And there are some parts that are not the game that are just us being bad at math. And there are a few places where that overlaps. If it's us being bad at math in a funny way, I'm keeping it. But if it's not, like, I'm not gonna leave in a 2-minute thing where Ren is just like, wait, can somebody check my math on this? And then we go over and we are like, wait, what is that math? And then we retry and do it, the math. Yeah, we're not gonna keep that in. So yeah, the rough cut for this next episode was around 73 minutes before I started cutting out us being bad at math. And there is still 22 minutes left. Uh-oh. Wait, what's going on here? Hold on. Oh, no. Whoa. Something's up with the laptop. Okay, let's... Something went sideways here. So I told it not to make... Okay, so I told it not to do a bunch of renders of the multicam because we weren't going to have storage space. So we're going to apply to all. Okay, so it seems to have filled the hard drive. Unexpected error occurred. Okay. So, empty trash. Okay. Well, I thought I told it not to do background rendering for all the multicam 4K stuff, because every time it does that, it fills the hard drive. And despite telling it to do that, it filled the hard drive anyway. So we're going to figure out... We're going to fix that. Okay, now we're back to 412 gigabytes available. It created 412 gigabytes of background render files. Okay, so open library. TCG. Okay, cool. We didn't lose anything here. So anyway, I've got 25 minutes left of the fight that I still need to cut out the pauses from and the math. So I think at the end of the day, this episode, which started off at like 73 minutes, will be down to, hopefully, this is the 35-minute mark. Hopefully this will be down to 45 to 50 or so. So that'll be good. But we do need to record the voiceover. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, live event chat, making sure that's open. Okay. So, voiceover. We've got the voiceover from all of the things on the laptop that I don't have a great way to send to the desktop, so I guess I'm going to email them to myself. That makes as much sense as anything else. HC9-066 voiceover script. And send. There's a lot of good security reasons to keep these computers kind of gapped because the one that I run random games on that people send me from conventions is not the one I want to be doing my taxes on. But yeah. Okay. Wow, it put this in a weird font, and I don't know why. Okay, let's pop this out in a new window. Why is it so tiny, too? Okay, whatever. So we've got the script here. Can I make... Ugh. It'll only make this window bigger if I make every window font bigger. Really? Hold on. Why can't you do that window by window anymore? Okay. Well, I guess we will copy the text into Notepad. Like adults. Here we go. Here we go. We got the scripts. So let's go ahead and hit start recording. We're going to do a few passes of these. HermitCraft Season 9, Episode 66, actual TCG, voiceover, take 1. Action. For my first game of TCG Season 2, I faced off against XB Crafted. I was worried he might have a PvP deck ready to destroy my speedrunner deck, so I played with my weaker but type-advantaged prankster deck. No, okay, we're gonna... So I attempted to counter him. Yeah, let's try that again. So this is kind of a practice run. I'm running through it to see if it's clear. Because I wrote this in a library where I couldn't say it out loud and get a sense of the cadence. I was worried he might have... I was concerned is better. I was concerned he might have a PvP deck ready to destroy my speedrunner deck. Ready to slice through his more PvP sortie. For my first game of TCG Season 2, I faced off against XB Crafted. I was concerned he might have a PvP deck ready to slice through my speedrunner deck. So, I attempted to counter him with my weaker, but type-advantaged prankster deck. It turned out XB had a balanced... No. It turned out... Yeah, let's... It turned out XB had a balanced type. It turned out XB actually... Yeah, so let's remove the however. It turned out XB actually had a balanced type deck prepared. And he defeated me. What's other words for balanced? Like... I should actually pull up the footage from that real quick. So this will be running over footage from... Let me pull this. Joe XB. So this will be running over this footage. So to get a sense of how it'll be in the episode. For my first game of TCG Season 2, I faced off against XB Crafted. I was concerned he might have a PvP deck ready to slice through my speedrunner deck. So, I attempted to counter him with my weaker but type-advantaged prankster deck. It turned out XB actually had a balanced type deck, and he defeated me 3-1. So yeah, that'll play there. And then, for my second game of TCG Season 2, I decided to use my single-type speedrunner deck against Jevin. I'd tested it against Doc recently in a non-tournament game and thrashed him. But I drew far too few hermits this time, and I was defeated before I could even get 3 on the board. And so that was a little bit long, but like we can speed this up, and yeah, that'll cover that. So yeah, that's how that would go. And then for the thing that we're trying to show now, it would be, after that, Cub, Cleo, and I decided to build a visual representation of the games played in TCG Season 2. I threw together a prototype out of destructible blocks, and we got to work from there, improving the design with a better orientation fancier materials, and player heads instead of signs. Oh, okay, excuse me. Let's, I've got my non-carbonated fruit smoothie, berry, and then also my coffee. So I'm going to be up a little while working on this. I have an obligation tomorrow, right after the TCG Tuesday. So, basically, my goal is to try and get this edited now. Like, if I can completely finish this episode tonight, that would be optimal. Okay. So. Okay, next segment. After that, Cub, Cleo, and I decided to build a visual representation of the game's plate. Nope. We need a place to track all this data. So, after that, Cub, Cleo, and I decided to build a visual representation of the TCG games played in Season 2. I threw together a prototype out of destructible blocks, and we got to work from there, improving on the design with a better orientation, fancier materials, and player heads instead of birch signs. So I think that was a good take for that. So, next up. Like Cleo mentioned earlier, teaching games don't have to count toward the tournament, but Grian didn't realize what he had signed up for at first, and he says he needs to knock out as many games as he can as quickly as possible. Just to give him a fighting chance during our teaching tournament game, I played with my weaker prankster deck. At least he got to enjoy himself, up there on both sides of the board before his crushing defeat and my first win of the tournament. I'll take it. But don't worry, though. After seeing how Grian's first game went, a few of us hermits chipped in some cards from our own collections so he could streamline his deck and stand a fighting chance in the future. I tossed a few hermits I wasn't using his way, as well as a diamond. Don't worry, though. After seeing... I'll take it. Don't worry, though. After seeing how Grian's first game went, a few of us chipped in some cards so he could streamline his deck and stand a fighting chance in the future. I tossed in a few hermits I wasn't using his way. No, I tossed a few hermits I wasn't using. Let me clean up this, because there's some extra words here I need to delete. Don't worry, though. After seeing how Grian's first game went, a few of us chipped in some cards so he could streamline his deck and stand a fighting chance in the future. I tossed a few hermits I wasn't using his way, as well as a diamond armor, since my strategy is relatively armor light anyway. But now, for the main event of this episode, a showdown with CubFan 135. It's time to see if all of the time I've spent refereeing Season 2 games will pay off, as I've applied what I've learned about his strategy to tweaking my single-type speedrunner deck. And we're about to throw down at Doc M77's GOAT Arena. Yeah, I think that was a good one. Okay, so we're gonna stop the voiceover recording real quick. I also need to do the you may have noticed this episode was mid-roll ad-free. We're actually a little bit backlogged on that since I didn't get a lot of episodes out in June and July. So, who do I need to thank? Let's check the spreadsheet. Welcome, Spotify. Just out of curiosity, is this are you just straw poll, like nothing? You know, actually, wait, we can make an actual poll. Would you rather I streamed editing tasks like ReplayMod and Voiceover, or took evening off for them? Stream the tasks. cancel the stream. And we are posting this poll in the YouTube here. So, yeah, because I know this is not like a traditional HermitCraft stream, but I am curious what people think. Asteri says, personally, I like peeking behind the curtain. Awesome. Okay, so let's see how this render turned out while we wait for those poll results to come in. Okay, this is the A4 variant. So we're going to fly out here while that voiceover plays. Yeah, we're not missing those distracting bits. I think we are missing part of B-Dubs' building in a weird way. Well, not sure what to do about that. I think I'm willing to call this one good enough. I think this is where we... Okay. Triforce says it's not traditional, but it is still entertaining. And Chloe says, I rarely look at the screen anyway, so it's not so different. Polaris North Trust says, depends on what type of focus you need, but I trust you know when you have to take... Well, the thing is, there are certain tasks that I cannot do on stream. I can't, like, edit the video itself on stream. But that's why I spent, like, 4 hours today on editing the video in the library. Like, I'm not completely done with that, but, like... the stuff I have left I can do after the stream. There's a lot of editing tasks I can't do on stream, but recording the voiceover and doing the ReplayMod stuff I can. Okay, so we're going to consider that one acceptable. Real quick, let's make sure that Final Cut Pro isn't filling my hard drive again. It was trying, but I stopped it. How much did it render in the background? It rendered 80 gigabytes of background. I told it to stop doing that. Why isn't it listening? Where did I mess up the settings? Hold on. We're going to turn off background render entirely. I tried turning off create optimized media from multicam clips, but apparently that wasn't the only problem. There's a lot of background rendering occurring. For other tasks, and this is a very complicated episode. It will fill the hard drive if it background renders everything at 4K. Okay. Sunflower says, I appreciate the work vibes. Very chill. Techno says, +1 to what Polaris said, which was, depends on the level of focus you need. I trust when you know when you have to take nights off to really focus. Yeah, I really try to structure it so I don't absolutely have to. It's just this week in particular is going to be kind of weird. So, and like I said, at this point, I have so much footage and not enough editing time. So we're going to reclaim this stream. We're not... I mean, I was going to say we're not going to generate new footage. We are generating new footage. That's literally what we're doing in ReplayMod. But what we're not doing is we're not... Oh, gosh. What is word? We're not recording new events on HermitCraft. I was tempted to jump on the server and record for like 5 seconds pressing the button on red, but it looks like somebody sniped me on that while I was at the library. So, yeah. So we're not doing a so we're recording voiceover about stuff that already happened, but we're not capturing any new events on the server. Hey, thank you very much to Iconic Anemone for our first tip of the evening. We just got 10 rolling in. That's going to put us 10 away from our next face camera expansion. Thank you, Iconic Anemone. So we have to exit the replay so it'll save our changes. I did a lot of really weird timing tweaks that you can't visibly see on the timeline here, but there were a lot of bits. Doing time lapses where the hermits fly away from the active area can be complicated. And Polaris North Star says, Scar sniped Cleo and Impulse on stream. Ah, gotcha. Nice. Okay, so multiplayer. Okay, so we need to quit this game. I guess we don't need the setting up stream sign anymore. We're going to relaunch an older version of Minecraft because I actually, for a story I'm telling Cleo, there's a flashback to the 1.19 HermitCraft. So we need to launch a different version of the game here. It crashed the last time I tried to do a render, but last time I tried to do a render, I foolishly had it set up for, I was trying to ReplayMod render 2 different versions of Minecraft simultaneously, which I've literally never tried to do before, but that was a bad idea, it turned out. So I think it was the 23rd. No, 21st, was it? No, it was May 23rd, and it was the longer stream. Yeah, that one. Wait. Hold on. On May 23rd at 11:42 p.m. 11:42 a.m., Mahi Zero Woe wrote, "Bad Omen is definitely a game changer." Oh no. Oh, it's not showing up in the list because it crashed and it has to resave the replay file before it shows up in the list. So we gotta wait for that to reload then. Okay. I was like, why can't I find it? So if we can't, if this crashes multiple times, if there's no way to get it, that's fine. But I'd really like, when I tell Cleo the story about me defeating Doc, I'd really like to show the bits from that. Nez says, I think we're all biased towards you streaming since we're here watching, but it doesn't seem like something you would get as many tips doing. Well, that's one of the reasons why I asked, because tips are one of the clearest ways to know if people are enjoying what they're watching. And when I had asked that, we had not gotten our first tip of the stream yet. So, you know, it's just kind of like, I don't want to overstay my welcome if you guys aren't enjoying this. So let me just put this poll up and double check. Because I don't mind folks not tipping, but, you know, I do use that information to make decisions. And sometimes I need to sanity check that. Okay. So if we go here and we hit play camera path from cursor position, it's going to... Unfortunately, we didn't start a new ReplayMod file. This is like 3 hours into this episode, or this stream. And long streams can be problematic in various ways. So, movie magic. Welcome, Ferret Terrier. Hey, I saw that you were doing pretty good on the match play. So, where's my where's that link? Let me find that link. So one thing I'm doing differently with our weekly pinball challenge this time is that I'm okay. So let's see if it crashes just playing through it. Because this is about the point where it crashed on the render. Was somewhere in around this part of the video. So if we can play through it normally, and it only crashed on the render, that might be because we were doing something weird here. With running 2 Minecrafts at once. Okay, if it hasn't crashed by now, I think we're okay. We do need to turn on night vision. Just so we don't get weird flickering from the lighting effects. Okay, let's actually retime this to there. Okay. So this is JoeDoc A2. Save. Let's see if my video settings were saved. 27. Okay. Yeah, it had to be at least 27 to get the corner of the arena in there, or the corner of the thing in there. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to save our keyframes. So JoeDoc battle. And we're going to try and start the render. We'll see if it fails this time. It's at 4K. We're rendering. We don't need the name tags for this group. We don't need the chroma key. Default rendering seems fine. Custom bitrate. I'm happy with where we are with that. But yeah, Ferret Terrier has been competing all 3 weeks in our pinball series. So basically, I'm doing a series of weekly pinball tournaments on Discord, and it's going to run for 26 weeks, basically, the second half of the year. And at the end of the 26 weeks, you'll be ranked by your 15 best performances. So even if you join the Discord a week from now, you would still have like 22 weeks that you could compete, and only your top 15 would count. Or if you're like, oh, I'm going to be traveling for a month, you don't have to be like, oh no, I'm going to get behind on the tournament. Because like, I wanted to make sure that there was enough, because it drops everything but your top 15 turnout or showings. Like, everybody can participate the weeks they want to and doesn't have to stress out on the weeks they don't. But yeah. Because yeah, Ferret Terrier had a particularly good showing last week, I think. Scored 70 points there, which is 4th place, and that's brought you up. You were kind of hanging toward the back the first 2 weeks. You said you're loving to learn some pinball. Well, like, clearly you're learning, and because yeah, you jumped up quite a bit. We have some other folks that have only done 1 or 2 weeks, and so in the series rankings right now they're toward the bottom, but they have, like I said, 23 more weeks to catch up. So I'm really excited about this new format, and I'm hoping people give it a try. Let me post that link in the Discord as well, so you can see there how it's displaying the first 3 tournaments. And if you click like the number 1, the number 2, the number 3 at the top, it'll actually bring you to like the tournament entries where you can hit scores and see the actual results and stuff too, or standings. Aaron Ferriera says pinball is fun. Awesome. Michael Laposada says laughed villainously. Yeah, Michael Laposada, aka Toxic Glitter, has won all of the tournaments so far, and is currently at the top. Yeah, you're gonna have to win if you want to guarantee the first in this, though. You're gonna have to win 15 times. I don't know if you can pull that off, but I'm sure that you're gonna try. I have complete confidence that you will attempt to win 15 games. One of the reasons that I chose to keep people's top 15 turnouts instead of like the top 13 was I didn't want to have a situation where first place was 2 people with 13 first places, you know, if we did the top 13. So 15 out of 26, that's a little bit more than half. I guess in theory it could be 2 people with 13 first places and 2 second places or something, and then I'll be annoyed and I'll learn from that. I will learn from that, but yeah, that's something to learn from. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so I don't want to launch any new, I was gonna say, why don't we run something else in the background, like run another game while this renders, because this is going to take a little while. But here's the thing is, since this crashed last time we did it, we don't want to add any more variables. So what I should be doing actually is let me pull up my Patreon thanks list and figure out who we need to thank for the end of this episode. So, okay. Oh, this is out of date. So 64 and 65 both were the only episode that month. So we thanked Mr. Lance for the removing the pre-roll ad on each of those, because that's once a month. And that's a separate track than the other folks. Bioduck, Winnie T. Ford, and M. Lavis are our other poetry-related supporters. And I'm pretty sure 64, I ended with the poetry prompt double camel, so that was definitely... Or no, that was 65. So we thanked Bioduck there. Hey, looks like we got another tip rolling in. Let's see who it's from. We got 10 rolling in from Andrew. Thank you so much, Andrew. That is appreciated. That does indeed get us to our next face camera expansion milestone. So here we go. It's time to expand. Alrighty. So let's. So youtube.com/JoeHillsTSD. So episode 64. That's the TNT one. So let's unmute the site real quick. Like jump skip to try and get... Not good. This is just going to be a huge improvement. And so that's thanks again to Jevin and Asuma for hooking me up with a ton of gunpowder there. Thanks to all the hermits who stopped by and helped out. And, you know, you might have noticed this episode was pre-roll ad-free. That's thanks to Patreon sponsor Mr. Lance. Thanks, Mr. Lance. This episode was also mid-roll ad-free, thanks to Patreon sponsor Bio. Okay, so we did the Bioduck there too. So Bioduck is caught up. It's M. Lavis and Winnie T. Ford that we're behind on. So let's go back and see which of them was the last one we did, and then we'll do the other one. Howdy, y'all. Joe Hills here, recording 63. Normally I would have this written down, but I don't think the file's saved last time I had it open, so we're... Mid-roll ad. I will now... Quickly. But wow. I am just so ecstatic with all of the progress we made this episode. All these little details. Getting the wood in. It really is gonna... It starts feeling more like a physical machine than a wireframe. It starts feeling like it has depth. Oh, we even got the extra blackstone from Tango in... I never the stopped floor talking. here. Talk faster. Ooh, so this is now all the way done. We're going to be using the rest of that blackstone for other parts of the machine in the next few upcoming episodes too. I don't know what I'm going to do with this area in here. Maybe build another copper field. We'll just fill this whole thing with copper fields. Who knows? We have so much copper left. I haven't even started breaking down. Wow. I didn't expect that to actually fill my inventory there. But yeah, I haven't even started breaking down the rest of this copper for the super smelter. But yeah, we'll get all that running eventually. Anyway, you may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. That's thanks to Patreon sponsor Winnie T. Okay, so we had Winnie T. Ford last. Awesome. Stephanie also says, did I miss the poem for a cub, or is that saved for the episode? That I have not recorded yet. So this next one is M. Lavis then. Okay. And since it's the second one in the week or in the month, we don't thank Mr. Lance on this one. Yeah, I'm still working on the poem. I thought I was gonna have more downtime while editing stuff ran in the background, but I ended up doing a bunch of other stuff, which is important. Today was probably one of my most productive days in recent memory. I have been, wildly productive, and I'm very excited about that. But yeah, unfortunately, the poem is not actually complete yet. I was gonna work on that, so once I actually finish editing the video, I have to hit, start encoding, and that might take, an hour or two. So my plan was to try and finish up the poem tonight, and then bring it to Cub during TCG Tuesday and record myself reading it to him then. So it's not done. I might not have it in time for TCG Tuesday, but that's optimal. That's the ideal that we're shooting for here. We'll have to see. We'll see how hard I crash, because it's also possible sometimes I'll hit encode and it'll be like, okay, this will take 2 hours to encode, and then I'll be like, you know what, I'm gonna go nap in the chair because I need to upload this overnight. But yeah, no, I've got a lot of stuff done today, so very excited to get this episode out the door and head in y'all's way. Okay, the fact that this hasn't crashed yet is making me feel pretty good about it. Yeah, the library was very good for productivity. Because, like, the thing is, like, sometimes... So, a lot of video editing... Or one of the early steps for video editing is I have to kind of review, like... I oftentimes start with, like, 6 to 8 hours of footage at the beginning of the episode, and I have to figure out, like, which parts of this should I choose to show. Like, the way that I make my episodes isn't as scripted as some hermits. Like Jem talks a lot about how she has a vision for what she wants the thumbnail to be. She's like, I want to show this build. And then she'll say, okay, what steps of that build do I want to show? And when would be good to try and fit in some interactions with some other hermits to, like, you know, keep the pace in a fun, creative way. And so she'll kind of go and work backwards from her final vision. Whereas I'm just like, I'm just going to explore the space and see at the end of the day, like, what I can turn into an episode. But one of the differences is that, like, somebody with Jem's approach might start with an hour worth of footage and cut it down to 20 to 40 minutes. Whereas I'm starting with 6 to 8 hours of footage. So a lot of it is just me, like, being like, okay, I know we start talking about this at some point. So I'll start playing the episode around, or I'll start playing the footage around where I think the thing is. And then I'll be like, okay, well, while I do that, let me respond to this email. And, like, I'll be, you know, like, knocking stuff out while I'm listening to the footage. And I'm like, okay, this is the good part. And then I put a marker in the video. This is one of the reasons I don't want to pay an editor, because editors charge partially based on how long it takes them to do stuff, and how long it takes them to edit down 8 hours of footage is way more than edit down 1 hour of footage. I don't have a production process that lends itself to that. Nola, quoting the television show Arthur from WGBH Boston, says, having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. Having fun isn't hard when you got a library card. Very true. Very true. So, thank you, Nola, for that observation. But yeah, it's good too when I go to the library, because I don't connect to the Wi-Fi there. So I'm only using the computer for editing stuff, and any emails or anything else that I'm doing, like responding to stuff on the Discord, anything like that, I'm just doing on my phone. So, like, I'm never minimizing the editing window on the laptop. Whereas, like, when I'm at home, I find, like, if I get a text from somebody that's like, hey, I want you to take a look at this, I'm like, well, I want to look at this on the computer, so I'll minimize the thing, and then I'll... But now I'm running in parallel. Yep. Okay. So. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so I think we're past the part where it crashed last time. we're coming up on the hour. I think the wise thing to do here is ReplayMod runs slightly faster, not much faster, but like a little bit faster if I'm not running OBS. So maybe we wrap up the stream in 5 minutes, especially if I have to render this again or something like that. Because like the amount of time it would take to set up a game or something to run, like I could put on Pinball, but the new Pinball FX is a lot more system resources heavy. So this 20-minute render would probably become a 1-hour render if we open both at once. And I don't have the NES Classic or the Switch hooked up right now. By the time I got either of those hooked up, we'd probably be at the 20-minute mark. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to call this is a 1-hour productivity stream. Oh, we need to... Okay, actually, I do still have one more voiceover task. We have one more voiceover task to do. Let me pick one of my old poems. I'm not sure if any of these... are good for... Trying to see if any of these poems are good for... Some of these old poems might be good for reading at the end of the episode, if any of them fit. Oh, I have been doing custom haikus. But I kind of wanted to read a poem. I think I want to do Like Your Neighbor, since this was all about battle. Like your enemy. Yeah, that's what it is. Like your enemy. Not love your enemy, but like your enemy. Okay, so start recording. HermitCraft, Season 9, Episode 66, Voiceover Finale. Take 1. And action. We had a lot of fun playing TCG today. But you know what? Before we go, I need to thank our Patreon sponsor. Take two. That was an incredible face-off against Cub Fan. I don't know which of us was John Travolta and which of us was Nicolas Cage, but I had a fantastic time. So, before we go, you may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free. This was a long episode. I've been editing it all day. And wow, a lot of episode, no mid-roll ads. How did that happen? It's a mystery. No, it is not a mystery. That is thanks to Patreon sponsor M. Lavis. Mahi says, Joe, stop. Wait. Oh, yeah, we're not supposed to be talking about movies. Thank you. Thank you, Mahis. Thank you. Yeah, yep. See, this is just instinctive. It's instinctive. It's in our culture. Thank you for correcting me. Yes. Good catch. Okay, thank you. Mahi's in the Discord and Joju. You're both right. You're absolutely right. We're restarting. Boom. Okay, here we go. Do. Okay. That was an epic TCG battle of history. I'm glad that I was able to show it mid-roll ad-free to y'all. How does that even happen? A video this long with no mid-roll ads? Are you that intrinsically lucky? No! It is our hero, Patreon sponsor, M. Lavis, making this episode mid-roll ad-free for y'all. In lieu of that mid-roll ad, I will now read a poem of my own devising that all this TCG battling got back on my mind from many years ago. I call this poem Like Your Enemy. I made war on the sea and became the waves. I made war on the peaks and became the stone. I made war on the heavens and became the sky. I made war on my neighbor and died, flesh and bone. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring. Stream don't leave. That's the end of the recording, not the end of the stream. But, yeah, I like that one. I don't know if that was my best reading of it. Oh, Toxic. Anyone who is potentially eligible for SAG-AFTRA in the future, which would include people who, like, make YouTube videos, if we are promoting, so basically, studios have been trying to get YouTubers to promote films, and SAG-AFTRA has basically said, hey, if you do that, you're never going to be a part of SAG-AFTRA or the Writers Guild of America. And on the off chance that I want to collaborate with Quinn in the future, who has, like, lived in LA for several years working in the movie industry and has, like, a master's degree in film direction, I need to make sure that I'm not, prevented from eligibility in the future. So it's not that y'all can't talk about movies. It's that folks who are media adjacent or industry adjacent, like myself, shouldn't be doing so. So yeah, that's not going in the episode with the face-off joke. But okay, so let's go ahead and see if any last-minute tips rolled in. We did the last call a little while ago. I'm doing a manual refresh on PayPal here just to make sure, because sometimes the alerts don't go through, and I want to make sure that everybody who shows me they appreciate the show knows that I appreciate them as well. So here we go. Okay, that one we definitely thanked. That one we definitely thanked. Okay, we're all caught up. Alrighty, y'all. Well, thank you so much to everybody who hung out today for this little bit unconventional stream. 32 votes. We actually did have one person who said cancel the stream. So it's good. It's good to know that the voting works. That it's not broken. If 100% of people vote for something, it's like, oh boy, maybe the second option doesn't function. So that is good to know. Golden Tetrapod says thank you for the stream. Nola says thanks for streaming tonight, Joe. You're most welcome, both of y'all. Okay, let's see what is going on. I mean, it's not worth trying to raid people across services tonight, so I'm just gonna wrap up here. Go watch whoever you like. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.